Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Irene. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you my review of the YSL Monogram chain wallet, complete with mod shots and what fits inside. So without further ado, let's get started. To start us off, I'm going to give you the full 360 view of this bag, what it looks like in the front. As you can see, it is the chevron patterning. The side view looks like this. The back is very simple and plain. There is no back pocket. The other side. The bottom is also very simple. It's just one piece of leather that runs straight through. And at the top, there's nothing really to it. It's just a flap here. This bag opens with a snap buckle. And as you can see, there is a chain that I've tucked inside of it. Now we'll go more into that in a second. But really quickly, I want to go over the dimensions of this bag. So for reference, this bag is 8.5 inches wide, 5.5 inches tall, and 1.5 inches in depth. So if you were to convert that into centimeters, this would actually be 22.5 centimeters across, 14 centimeters in height, and 4 centimeters in depth. As you can see, it's not a very deep bag, and so you're gonna have to consider some of those things when you're placing items inside. Now for the strap drop, I'll just take it out. I like to tuck the strap inside the bag when I am not using it because it is quite a heavy chain and I don't want it sitting on the leather and possibly causing like indents or imprints onto it. But for reference, the strap drop from the top point here to this part right here, so from here to here, it is about 48 centimeters. And it is a very substantial chain. So this is a silver metal chain and it's quite heavy. If you were to remove this, because this chain is actually removable, if you were to remove it, it would actually reduce the weight of this bag by quite a bit. So I'll just quickly show you, and please excuse my nails. I haven't done them yet. But if you take a look at this right here, you could actually completely remove this chain strap by kind of like, there's like 2 knobs here that you would just kind of undo from these leather straps and kind of pull them apart. I myself have never done that. I just don't want to put extra wear and tear on the leather straps more than necessary. So I just kind of leave them on here, and then when I don't want the straps hanging out, it's very simple. All you got to do is just tuck this inside the bag. We're going to go back into looking at the material of this bag. This bag is made out of 100% calf skin, and on the YSL website they call this like the powdered leather. It's basically, it's a grained calf skin leather, and obviously mine is in the black with silver hardware, and it is quite a hard wearing leather. This bag I don't use as an everyday bag, obviously, because it is meant to be like a wallet on chain, something that you take out for nights out, drinks, dinner, that sort of thing. So because of that, I don't carry it very often, but when I do take it out for nights out and stuff, especially back before the pandemic and the lockdowns happened, this was a very carefree bag for me to carry around, just because it is quite a compact size. It's not going to be very cumbersome for you to carry around, and it carries everything that you need for the evening. So for me, all I would need to carry is my cards, and I will show you in a second that there's a ton of card slots in here, some cash, a phone, some lip gloss, maybe eye drops or something like that, and it would all fit inside here perfectly fine. And so this is really good for nights out, evenings out, girls night out, whatever, drinks, but I would not recommend this as an everyday bag just because it would not carry all of your essentials, even for myself. This bag currently retails for 2,010 Canadian dollars on the YSL website. However, I've seen it at other places, for example Holt Renfrew. I've seen it being priced at $2,100 plus GST or whatever taxes you have wherever you live. And so when you're looking for this bag, I recommend shopping around and taking a look at what stores or retailers are pricing it at a lower price point, because they don't necessarily get priced exactly the same across all retailers. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Moving on to the interior of this bag, I'm just going to show you. As you saw earlier, there is the strap that is removable. And then inside, you'll see that there are actually 2 side compartments, essentially like 2 pockets, and then an interior zip pocket that kind of acts as like the divider between everything. And then on this back flap, there are 10 card holders, like 2 columns of 5, 1 column here, 1 column here of card holders, and then a large bill or receipt flap at the very back, and the same thing on the front flap. So there's 2 columns of 5 card slot holders. I don't know if that's making sense, but 5 card slot holders here, and then right next to it another 5 card slot holders, and then behind it all there's 1 big flap here, which you can put receipts or whatever larger pieces of paper in here, but it's all flat pockets, so don't expect to get a whole lot of items in there that have a lot of dimension to it. And then in terms of the lining, this bag is actually mostly leather lined with the calfskin. However, the one thing that isn't leather lined is inside this zip pocket. So in this zip pocket, it's actually kind of like feels like a nylon type of material. I'm not entirely sure what it is inside, but it's not leather lined inside. So if you have something that's a little bit more abrasive, for example, if you have keys that you don't want scratching the interior leather of the rest of the bag, you can stick it in here and you won't be scratching any of the leather lining. So that's good. As you can see, my zipper still has the protective sticker on it. I haven't used this bag as much as I have wanted to just because of current circumstances. But another reason why I haven't used this bag as much as I'd wanted to was because after I purchased this bag, I then purchased my Chanel mini rectangle, which is back over there. And as you can see, they're both mini bags, very compact, black with silver hardware. And so when I'm giving the choice between the two, I tend to go for my Chanel much more. And so this guy ends up just sitting in my storage cabinet looking very pretty but not being used. A couple of things that I really like about this bag is that the leather, like I mentioned earlier, is very durable. So it's quite a carefree bag, even though it is pretty much 100% calfskin leather. Just because the pebbled texture of it, it really provides great durability, and so you don't have to worry about it when you are carrying it out. Another thing I really like about it is that because I have the silver hardware, it's really easy for me to dress up or dress down depending on what outfits you pair it with. I find that they have a version in the gold hardware, but I find the gold hardware for me is typically more dressy, and so I wouldn't be carrying it out on a more casual basis. Again, like I said, this wouldn't be like an everyday bag, but there are still days when I am going out in the evening, but it's still quite casual. Like I'm not dressed up in heels or anything, which is 99% of the time. Another thing is this chain. I really like that it can be put away, tucked away, or completely removed, and then you can wear this bag as a clutch. So it does have several ways that you can wear it, and you just carry it under the your arm right here, just in your hands like this. And I find it's a really good size to work as a clutch. It's great for weddings. Whenever those start back up again, whenever people start having weddings again, then this would be really good for that as well, just to kind of bring along and carry your necessities in there. And as I showed you guys before, there are a lot of card slots that are already provided within the bag. So what I really like about that is that you can completely forego your wallet or card holder, because the idea is that this is kind of like a wallet on chain. Don't bring a wallet, it kind of defeats the purpose, and it takes up additional space that you could be using to store other things. Now I'm just going to show you guys what this bag looks like on me, some mod shots, and for reference I am 5'3", and remember that the strap drop length is about 48 centimeters. For myself, I'm just going to back up here. This bag works perfectly as a shoulder bag, and I really like where it hits me on my hip. It's very comfortable. Because it is quite a flat profile, it doesn't jut out and stick out and make your arm stick out like this when you have your arm over top of it. It's just very, very comfortable. You barely notice that it's there. I can also wear this bag as a crossbody, and to do that, I would just do this. And again, this strap length is actually really good for someone who's around my height, because you can wear it both ways. Worn crossbody, this bag does hit a little bit higher on my hip, but nothing uncomfortable or awkward. And if I was to throw it to the back of my body, you'd see that it looks like that. Either way works really well. And of course, this chain is not adjustable. I created a video a couple weeks ago about adjusting the Chanel chain strap. Unfortunately, those techniques, I showed you two ways that you can use a ribbon or you can use what they call like a buckle clasp, but those two would not work just because the way that this chain is designed. If you take a look, the interlocking chains are, the gap in between, like the hole, center hole, is very, very small, and the chain itself is quite chunky. It would not work well with those techniques. So if you're looking into this bag, I would highly recommend you try it on in person first, just because if you plan on wearing it either with a strap like shoulder bag or crossbody, it's going to be a little bit finicky with the strap length. If you're very, very tall, it would not, I don't think it would work as well as a crossbody. It would still potentially work quite well as a shoulder bag, but if you are just curious, just keep that in mind, that the strap is not adjustable. It's not very flexible in terms of the length. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys what fits inside this chain wallet from YSL. So again, let's just open this up. You can see that there are two separate compartments with an interior zipper pocket right here, which is not leather lined. Everything else is. So I have, as you can see, I've tucked my chain inside so that it is out of the way, and I just want to show you guys what fits inside. I've had questions before about whether a wallet would fit in here. Now, this is the best example of a wallet that I have here. This is an old Michael Kors wallet I used to use in university. It is pretty thin and compact, but it is a long, full-sized wallet, I guess. So if I were to try to put this in here, it would fit, but it's a little bit snug. And if you were to put this wallet in this one side, or even in the outside compartment on here, you could, but then the problem is you wouldn't be able to fit much else, because don't forget that the width of this bag is only, what, 4 centimeters? So as you can see, it's already kind of stretching out this part right here. So that's not ideal. I mean, it would work. I just wouldn't recommend it myself. So if I were to just take that out, I mean, the whole point of this wallet on chain is so that you would fit cards and forego the wallet altogether. So that's the purpose of all the card slots that they've given you. So I personally wouldn't recommend trying to fit an additional wallet in here. It totally defeats the purpose. I have an example of my, what is it, my key clay or key pouch from Louis Vuitton. That fits in here really well. It's quite a thin pouch, so it fits in there really well. I can put my keys in here. Now the problem is with my keys, especially with my house key, I don't like to put it in here just by itself, just because it is leather lined and I don't want to scratch the bag. But it does fit in there, and if I turn it to the side, it really doesn't stretch out the side too much. Let's see what else can fit inside. Like, I will obviously put in some cards, so let's just take a couple of cards so that you guys can see. I know it's hard for you to see, but that you guys can see where the card slots are. So there's card slots here, 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 and even some more on the back. I think you can kind of see it here. I don't know. Yeah, you can see the card slots right here and on this side as well. So there's 2 rows of 5 here and 2 rows of 5 card slots here, and then at the very top is like a bill or receipt slot on both sides as well. So it's quite a lot of compartments for just like flat cards and receipts and things like that, even bills. And in terms of coins, you can keep any coins or cash in this zip pocket, which I have. Like, for instance, let's say you're going out, you need some cash for, I don't know, whatever, drinks. You zip it up in there. I would also throw in like any makeup, so I have like a lip liner in here, a perfume, perhaps a little lipstick. This one's from Charlotte Tilbury. It's a tiny trial sized one, and maybe even like a hair tie, for instance, and we can zip that up. And when I am looking at this bag, it's starting to look like it's a little bit like the capacity is being taken up now. Okay, and then let's try just putting my phone inside. If I put my phone on the outside compartment here, as you can see now, it's going to get a little bit tight. Now, this does work. It fits, it snaps in place. Now all of that fits inside here, but I wouldn't put anything else in here. I wouldn't recommend it just because you don't want to distort the shape of the bag any more than you need to. Personally, I would not keep my keys in here because I feel that it takes up too much space. And as you can see, when I take out my keys, all of a sudden it doesn't look so distorted on the side. This way, if I remove my keys, I can put a couple other things like lip gloss, perhaps hand sanitizer, and that would fit. The hand sanitizer, depending on the size, it could also be a little bit tricky. As you can see, mine is a little bit tricky here, so I'm gonna just take that out because it's a little bit too wide for the liking of this bag. Perhaps a hand cream that's a little bit smaller, more compact. And that's pretty much what fits inside this bag. As you can see, the capacity is not huge, but there's a reason for that. It's because it's not meant to be for like an everyday bag. This bag does carry the essentials, and I do really like this bag. It does have everything that you need. But yeah, that's what fits inside this bag. All in all, I really enjoy this bag. It is a great piece to add into your collection if you don't have like a going out bag. It is so classic, understated, but yet it's got that big logo that, I mean, it's pretty easy to recognize, but it's not really in your face. I find this bag is really easy for me to pair with my outfits, and I really don't have an issue with that. This goes with pretty much anything that I wear, especially when I'm going out. So it's great for that. The size is very compact. It carries what you need. It's also great because you can wear it in multiple ways. Shoulder bag, crossbody, as a clutch. So there's several ways that you can use this bag, and it is beautiful. So those are my thoughts on it. If you have any other questions about this bag that I've not answered, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section down below. I hope you guys found today's video somewhat helpful and informative. If you guys did, please remember to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to join my little family. That would mean a great deal to me. And I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!